The Chinese Grand Prix is underway!
Antonelli, driver of the day.
Yeah, super surprised.
I've been hit by someone.
The traffic, can George Russell get back the place? Through goes Russell up to second place, and Norris, current world champion, we're on board. Nose cam, do that, and he roars around the outside. Does he get the place? He does! Gabriel Bortoleto, it's a late send. Mystical, greatest driver with Formula One's.
Hey guys, welcome to Simple F1, your favorite source for Formula One news. If you love Formula One, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and let's get started with this week's biggest updates. According to Automotor and Sport, Formula One is discussing a possible return to V10 engines. There are two options. The current regulations stay until 2028, and then we switch to V10s. In 2026, teams follow the new regulations as planned, but only for 3 years instead 5. Then we move to V10s. What do you think? Would you like to see V10 engines return? FIA is paying close attention to flexible rear wings. Let's take a closer look. The first image shows how FIA checks wings flexibility. The second image gives a detailed view of the detail. In Australia, all 10 teams passed FIA's flexibility test. However, additional camera during practice revealed that some teams, hint McLaren, found a loophole in the rules. So FIA decided to take action. For the Chinese Grand Prix, the allowed wing movement is reduced from 2 mm to half of millimeter. By the Japanese Grand Prix, it will be just a quarter of millimeter. This isn't a final decision, but it could impact the future of Mini-DRS. This issue actually started in 2024 when McLaren was accused of using a flexible wing to gain speed. Now FIA wants to stop these tricks before they become a bigger problem. Some say we might see a big change in Citroën team's straight line speed already in China. But when asked about it, Lando Norris confidently said McLaren has no issues with their wings. In fact, if these rules had been applied in Melbourne, McLaren would have actually benefited. Former team boss Eddie Jordan has passed away at the age of 76. Many know him as a media personality, but his impact on Formula One was much bigger. He founded Jordan Grand Prix, a team that not only competed but also won races. Eddie was also the man who gave Michael Schumacher his F1 debut. Jordan Grand Prix existed from 1991 to 2005, but financial issues forced its sale. Over the years it became Midland, then Spiker, then Force India, then Racing Point, and finally Aston Martin. Even today, Aston Martin operates from the same Silverstone facilities Jordan once used. Aston Martin honored Eddie Jordan with a special sticker on their car during FP1. Rest in peace, Eddie. F1 never forget you. And before the starting conversation about race weekend, let's talk about some interesting news. For the Shanghai Grand Prix, FIA has extended the DRS zone by 75 meters on the track's longest straight. Has this helped anyone with overtaking? Let's discuss. Of course, no F1 week is complete without drama. Lewis Hamilton on his heated radio conversation with his engineer in Australia. Max has been arguing with his engineer for years, but you never write about that. Yet the moment I have one little discussion, it's all over the news. Lewis was quite polite with his engineer, even said please on radio. So what questions can be for him? Meanwhile, Zach Brown on his rival with Christian Horner. It's real. I don't like the way he plays, and I'm sure he feels the same about me. But that's good for the sport. Rivalries like this are needed. Some are friendly, some are not. I agree with his opinion. It's quite interesting to watch. And now, let's talk about the race weekend. The one and only practice session at the Chinese Grand Prix was quite interesting. The top 5 were Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Hamilton and Russell. It was clear that teams were trying to get their setups right from the first attempt. McLaren seemed to be the fastest heading into sprint qualifying, but things didn't go as expected. The surprises in sprint qualifying started right from Q1. Lawson finished last again. A tough start to the season for him. Biermann once again outperformed Hülkenberg, providing that his talent is what makes Haas competitive. At Alpine, Gasly lost to Duen and seemed to get a serious talk from Briatore. In Q2, things got even more interesting. Alonso was beaten by Stroll, raising questions. Could this become a trend? Williams made it to Q3, once again, with Albon finishing in the top 10.
No.
And Tsunoda was the best Red Bull driver again, making his case for a Red Bull seat stronger. Then came the final session of qualifying. Norris made a mistake and ended up P6.
So pitted, he was on for a pole lap, had to throw.
Russell used his experience well, but he still has more to prove. Leclerc had a clean lap, but it wasn't fast enough. And then Max made a small mistake in the final corner, which likely cost him pole position.
No comment.
That honor went to Hamilton, who had a flawless session and finished first.
Second, and the two Titans are at the front.
Where are we?
That's San Diego.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Qualifying was even more unpredictable. The next day everyone was eager to see what would change in the sprint. But in the end, not much actually did. Lewis Hamilton took the victory. His first podium with Ferrari and Ferrari's first sprint win.
Formula One statistical greatest driver with Formula One.
It was an easy race for Lewis, while Piastri and Norris lost crucial points. Russell and Tsunoda also delivered strong performances. The sprint was over, the celebrations were short, and soon after it was time for the main race qualifying. Red Bull Racing shocked everyone. Hadjar and Tsunoda finished P7 and P9.
Hadjar gets the lap that he needs.
Sainz struggled, only P15, a weak start to the season.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes it.
Albon continued his consistency in Q3, securing P10. Haas had mixed result. Ocon finished P11, while Biermann was only P17. Ferrari lacked stability, P5 and P6. But last year they were with the champions. Where is the real fight? McLaren stayed strong in the top 3, and Piastri secured his first ever pole.
So that is P1. P1, well done, mate.
For Mercedes, all was good. Russell took P2 and Antonelli P8. But Red Bull was weaker than usual. Max managed P4, while Lawson finished last again. But qualifying isn't the final word. So, what happened in the final race? The rookies were inconsistent. Antonelli showed flashes of brilliance, but also made mistakes. However, he was voted driver of the day. Even he was surprised.
Antonelli, driver of the day.
Yeah, super surprised.
Biermann and Ocon scored points for Haas, a major breakthrough for the team. Ferrari showed strong race pace. For the first time in a while, they split their drivers on different strategies. However, Leclerc's contact with Lewis affected the final result. McLaren started using team strategies. Oscar led from lap 1 and confidently won his third career victory. Norris finished P2, despite brake issues. Red Bull struggled, but Verstappen carried the team. He finished P4 and single-handedly overtook Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. Stroll had a solid season opener, showing great consistency. Albon delivered another quiet but strong race. The one-stop strategy played a crucial role. Maybe track temperatures helped the tires last longer. That's all good, but breaking news emerged after the race. Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton have been disqualified from the Chinese Grand Prix. Gasly's and Leclerc's cars were underweight, while Hamilton's car had excessive wear on the skid block. As a result, Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz also score points in the Chinese Grand Prix. Once again, Ferrari faces issues that prevent their drivers from performing. When will this end? And now about the final standings in the Driver Championship after Chinese Grand Prix. Top 3 drivers: Norris, Verstappen, Russell. In the Constructors' Championship, first place McLaren, second place Mercedes, and third place Red Bull. Read Max Verstappen. It's also very interesting that Max doesn't consider his car fast enough. After qualifying, he said that he could only win if everyone ahead of him dropped out of the race. So, what's next? Ferrari is starting to show its potential, but they are not ready for a title fight yet. McLaren is consistently at the top, while Red Bull is losing ground. The next race will reveal whether Verstappen can regain control or if Norris has officially entered the championship battle. Next up, the Japanese Grand Prix. Let me know in the comments what do you think about Piastri, Russell, Norris, Verstappen and Hamilton. Can Ferrari back to the battle? Will McLaren lose its dominance? And what do you think about Lewis' sprint win? Write your thoughts below this video. Also, make sure to subscribe me, press like and share this video with your friends. Have a nice day, and remember, F1 is simply lovely.
Style.